Hello, hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk about things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. We are here for our weekly energy reading. We're going to see what the energy is for this week. Let's call on our guides and angels, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron. Please open sacred space. Please only allow the highest and whitest light messages to come through. Bless me. Bless my cards. Bless my beautiful viewers. Let's get this party started. Okay, I have about 40 minutes before I have to go and do a client lunch. And then I am going to see an amazing magical healer named Heather today at 2:30 out in PA. And she is the type of healer where you walk into her space and she like tells you your entire life in 5 minutes. The first time I saw her, she literally she just went off on a tangent and told me my entire childhood. And I was like, yep, yes, that happened. Yes, yes, yes. I didn't have to tell her anything. It was so cool. There's some people that are just so magically gifted and you're just like, how can you tap in? It's almost like she can tap into the Akashic records. And she immediately went right to my gut. And she was like, there's something going on with your gut. And meanwhile, I had Chick-fil-A like 2 hours before and I knew I shouldn't have been eating it. And I was like, damn, she knows. But she told me that like something was wrong with my gut. And I was like, yeah, I've been feeling like that. I have not been eating healthy. I've kind of like let myself go. But it's just wild how people are so gifted like that. They can just know. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Things will start to shift. Things are starting to shift. And I feel like I shared that because God says just do it, which I think is what I was just about to say. I was going to say that I think I shared that because if you're feeling called to go to somebody like that, sometimes it's great to get like, I'm a healer, I'm a coach, but I need other people to help me. We always have to be leveling ourselves up. We're here to expand, we're here to grow, we're here to self-correct, we're here to be the highest, best version of ourselves. And I believe it's not really even in our control anymore. I believe the people who are here to evolve and grow, us light workers, we don't have a choice. We're being forced to do this work. And when somebody comes along your path who's gifted like that, take advantage, find the money to do it. Ask a family member to offer you the money if money is an issue. If money's not an issue, just do it, right? Sign up. Okay, so if God says just do it, things will start to shift when you do it. Start the thing, make the change, you will feel amazing. Wow. Lots of like action, do it, change, trust the timing. Move my glasses over here. Make the change, you will feel amazing. Trust the timing. I just heard things will unfold when you invite it in. If you are resisting change in your life because you can't quite see where it's going, that's okay. We're not meant to see the whole destination. We're just meant to see the next step. We have Mother Mary is here to guide you. Meditate, meditate, meditate. Horse Spirit is here to bring momentum. Heck yes. We love momentum. All right, so this week is a lot of change. Things will start to shift. God says just do it. And we're just coming off of the eclipse. Actually, maybe I'm filming this early, so maybe I'll air it on the eclipse day. If it is airing right now, happy eclipse. I'm just having that thought now, like, oh shoot, I wanted to do a reading for the eclipse. So I feel because I'm talking about it, we're doing it. Okay, so with eclipses, it's usually you're cutting something out. You're starting something brand new. You're leaving an old life behind. And for me, I quit my teaching job on an eclipse. During eclipse energy, I pushed away a future partnership that I knew was not healthy for me. And the minute I did that, the next month I had my highest earning month. So a lot of times when we are staying somewhere where we're suffering, our vibration is affected, we can't evolve, we can't grow because we're going to these places every day and we don't feel good. I literally was not feeling good because of this guy in my reality. So I took action and I spoke my truth and he exited. It was awesome. It was like the most amazing relief and It was part of my soul correction to speak up and to stand up for somebody, right? I was standing up for somebody else who he was hurting. And when I did that, I freed myself and I freed that person. So things will start to shift. God says, just do it. Make the change. You'll feel amazing. Start the thing. Trust the timing. Momentum, meditate. Mother Mary is here. Let's see what else. Tell them how you feel now. Somebody catching feelings for somebody else. Okay, it's time for an intuitive day. Birds before land. Okay, birds before land just came up for me the other day. I was at my chiropractor's office and there was a girl next to me who was talking about, she was like, yeah, I'm moving. And he was like, oh, when are you moving? And she said the day. And she was just a little overwhelmed and she hadn't been feeling good. And she was asking for advice about like candida growth and all these different things. And I was sitting there going, oh my gosh, this is a birds before land. Birds before land is when you start to see your manifestation happen to other people before it happens to you, or you start to just see it in your reality, right? So I've been looking to move. My lease is up in a couple months. I want a house. I want to be on land. I want to be just in a really beautiful area. And she was talking about moving, and here I am magnetized to the same appointment, the same time. Our appointments are at the same time and we're both in the office at the same time, and I hear her talking about this. I'm like, okay, that's my birds before land. And then we have an intuitive day. So when we have an intuitive day, we are taking action to grow and strengthen our intuitive gifts. The only way you can strengthen your inner guidance system is to practice using it. So that means you have to put yourself in the unknown. And it doesn't mean you have to like go and like quit your job and go without money for a long period of time to be in the unknown. Or it could just be simply having an intuitive day. You get in your car, you don't know where you're going. You're like, soul, spirit, angels, guides, make today so magical. Where will you have me go? What will you have me do? Who will you have me see? What will you have me say? Bring me all the magic today. You say that little prayer that I always say. It's a Course in Miracles prayer. And you open yourself to be moved. So you get in your car, you don't know where you're going, you doll yourself up, you look amazing, right? And you just start driving and you're like, all right, let's see where I end up. And then you'll feel and hear little intuitive hits like, ooh, go to Barnes and Noble, or ooh, go buy a new deck of cards, or go down this street because there's a cute antique shop that you're going to want to stop at because you're going to be able to get a gift for your best friend. So you might not have these thoughts, but the first intuitive nudge is going to say, turn here. And then it ends up guiding you to the antique shop that you didn't even know was there. Okay, so these are the moments where we are strengthening that connection to that voice, to our soul. Our soul talks to us every single day. And when you're not in your parasympathetic nervous system, when you are in the sympathetic where you're in fight, flight, or freeze, you can't hear your soul because you're always trying to survive. And I believe that our soul comes here to correct certain baggage from either a past life or even in this lifetime, whether it's abandonment, rejection, fear of money. If you came here with the baggage of the fear of money, you are going to be put in like the worst financial situation because you're in it to realize, okay, let me just sit here and know that my bank account is at zero. And how can I get into the parasympathetic nervous system in this stage of the game? That is the ultimate test. Can you do it? Can you fully trust that your bank account's at zero right now and you don't need to go frantically ask people for money? You're going to trust this higher power is going to deliver the money when you need it. And you chose that experience for your soul correction to sit tight and to rest and to know, okay, I did it. Now I know what it feels like to not have anything and to know that I'm still okay. I didn't die. That's the soul lesson. That might be why you're in debt. That might be why you're without money right now, because you're meant to not panic. You're meant to calm down and to trust that everything always works out for me. And I'm going to keep my focus on having that beautiful, abundant life. And I'm not saying that you are to surrender to that kind of life your whole life. No, I'm saying you're only supposed to experience that lack until you soul correct. When you go into the soothing of the nervous system and you're like, I'm okay. I figured this out. Yes. Now it's time for the abundant life because you were willing to go into the pain and the suffering of what you came here to learn and you transmuted it. So now it's time for you to receive all the abundance this world has to offer because you mastered your soul lesson. Okay, so don't beat yourself up for, financial situation, financial loss. Maybe you lost your home, maybe you're homeless, maybe you're in that situation because your soul chose it. So you have to sit down and accept it. And how can you soothe yourself and not use other people to get you out? You're going to ask God and Source to say, okay, thank you for this lesson. I know I came here to transmute this. I am willing to be in this right now. I'm willing to be in the discomfort of not knowing what's going to happen next. I'm willing to be without because I know that you have my back and I know I'll be okay. Now, I trust myself to follow the next intuitive nudge, to take action, to do the next perfect step. If you bring me the next perfect step, I will do it. Right. And now you're soul correcting. You're doing something different than you did before. Okay. So you're also letting go of control. That was another card that we just got. You're not trying to control the situation and ask for help and be frantic and be panicked. You're sitting in it saying, okay, this is part of my soul correction. This is my soul baggage. I came here with this to transmute. What can I do to transmute this? How can I be different? So if somebody is reckless with money, the way you could be different is pausing before you spend and saying, do I really need this? Why am I buying this? And you slow yourself down. And if it's groceries or something that you really need, you buy it with the intention of, I'm loving myself with this purchase. And I'm going to be a little strict and I'm going to say, no, I don't really need that. And that's you changing the dynamic. You're being different, right? You're now respecting God and the money that God is giving you, and you're not just throwing it away. Our entire experience is soul correction. That's all we're here to do. We're just here to keep moving away from what the ego wants to do. The ego wants to do the wounding. The ego wants to grip. It wants to control. It wants to manipulate. And it wants to use other people to get what it wants. And we have to not do that, change course, correct, and say, okay, I only trust God. I believe that God will bring me things through other people, but I'm not going to go and try to manipulate people to get what I want. Okay, we have cleanse your energy and call that person. Interesting. Cleanse your energy and call that person. So who is on your mind? And if somebody needs a good cleanse, you could use, I have a cleansing course. I don't know if you guys know that, but I'll link it here. It's on my website. It's about $100. I think it's $111. I made it a while ago, but it's a great quick little tutorial on how to cleanse your energy physically, like what you can physically do and what you can say to call the energies away from you. Okay, we have Lady Luck is on your side. You are the magician. So this is a sign to create what you're like, whatever you want to create. Spirit is saying you have source energy in you. Just let it move you. Let it move you. Like when you wake up in the day, the most amazing co-creators, they wake up at the start of their day, they nurture their body, they get sunshine, they put clean water in their body, they eat healthy, and then they say, Spirit, move me. And they tune into the intuitive day kind of energy. Do I want to go in nature right now? Yeah, that feels like light in my body. I'm going to go do that. Okay. And I don't know what I'm going to do after that, right? This is on a day that you're off, no work, right? And then you come home from nature and you're like, oh, I feel like going to the store. You go to the store, you have a great conversation with somebody at the store. Then you get inspired to go to a restaurant. You go to a restaurant and you end up having the best conversation with the waitress. She recommends this bookstore that's down the street. You go to the bookstore and then all of a sudden you get an idea to write your own book in the bookstore. Then you meet a publisher somewhere. Like that's how life is supposed to work. We're supposed to be moved. And if you didn't start the day getting the sunshine, getting the healthy food, getting the clean water, maybe moving your body in nature, you would be moved by the ego. The ego would be going, oh, I just want to lay on the couch and do nothing. I just want to like sleep today. I don't feel like cleaning the house. I just want to watch Netflix. Do you see everything? Excuse me. Do you see everything that you missed out on by following the ego's desire and not doing the small little things to take care of yourself. My throat chakra is going nuts right now. Sorry, guys. I'm going to pause and go get some water. BRB. All right, we're back. So Lady Luck is on your side and you are the magician. You can co-create anything when you're in the flow state and the universe is moving you to what you're calling to create, what you're calling in. Waiting for the perfect wave. So this would be a different energy. This would be you not forcing. Maybe you are at home and you're trying to rest and relax and you're like, oh, I need to be doing something. I need to be creating money. I have to do this. I have to do that. And you're like actively stressed. This is where you need to meditate. This is where you need to slow down and you need to do what Abraham Hicks talks about getting off the journey for a bit and just feeling good. You say, okay, I'm going to take this problem. I'm going to put it on the shelf for right now. And I'm going to wait for the perfect wave. I'm going to wait for that flood of information that's going to come in on what to do to get this thing. I share this story often on my channel. And for those of you that have been following for a while, thank you so much. I love you all so much. And if you have not and you're new, welcome. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me where you're tuning in from. But I tell the story often that back when I was a teacher for 17 years, and I had a condo that I had owned for about 15 years, right? And I was probably like 10 years into owning it. I had moved in with my boyfriend into his place. So I rented my condo out. So I had renters in there. I knew who they were. They were super nice. They were actually cousins of my boyfriend. And they called me one day and they said, Michelle, it was the same 6 months. The dishwasher and the oven broke. I think it was the dishwasher. Yeah, it was the dishwasher. And my oven glass had broke a couple months before, so I had to replace that for them because I'm the landlord. And then they tell me that the dishwasher broke, and I'm like, oh man, I don't have the money right now. Money's tight. I would have had to put it on a credit card or maybe get like a Home Depot or Lowe's credit card. So I was like, I don't want to do that. I was like, universe, can you please help me with this? So I felt guided to lay in a meditation. So I laid on my couch and I was at this apartment complex. I was living here. I had moved out from my boyfriend because we had broken up. And I moved into here and I meditated and I heard a name. It was Sil, like Sylvester Sil. And he's the head maintenance guy at my complex here. And I was like, why do I need to go talk to Sil, spirit? And they just said, get your shoes on and go. So I quickly got out of my meditation. I walked outside. Normally he's driving around in a golf cart and he's a godly man. So he believes in faith and miracles and all these different things. He's like an older dad of like, he's got sons that are in their 30s. So he's like an older man, like cute grandpa energy. And I couldn't find him. So I was like, oh, why did they just make me get out of my meditation? And he's not even here. So the next day I come home from school, I'm pulling into my Jeep. It's like, 2:45 and I see him and I stop and I talk to him in his golf cart and I'm like, hey, Sil, I'm like, do you know where I can get like a really good discounted dishwasher brand new? And he was like, what do you need it for? And I told him my situation. I was like, I don't have the money. I'm renting my condo. My renters just told me it broke. And he was like, will you be home in a half an hour? And I was like, yeah, why? And I thought he was going to like I don't know. I thought he was going to help me look online or something. And he's like, bring your Jeep over to the back parking lot where there's garages at, whatever time. And he literally gave me a brand new dishwasher in the box. They buy dishwashers all the time for the complex, for the apartments. We checked the size of it. It fit perfectly. So he gave me a brand new dishwasher out of nowhere. The same, like within 2 days, I manifested a free dishwasher. So when we are wanting to create something and we're waiting for the perfect wave, sometimes meditation is the key. I sat in a meditation and I heard his name loud and clear, go talk to Sil. And I was like, holy shit. Look at the bottom of the deck. A message is coming through social media, text, or email. So that could be a sign that whatever you're trying to manifest right now is going to come in through a message from somebody. So trust your intuitive nudges, trust your intuition, trust yourself to go into a meditation and be able to hear. You want to be honing these skills all the time. All of my feminine clients, I am teaching them these intuitive days. I am teaching them how to listen. I'm teaching them how to read what's happening in the reality. Who's talking to them? What did they say? Every day if you want to really co-create a beautiful life for yourself, we have to work with the universe, right? It is us. It's in us. So if we're working against it and we're not using it, we're going against our natural state of being, which is force, control, manipulation, lies, frustration, grief, sadness, judgment, comparison. It's all that heavy, heavy energy. And then our vessel feels so exhausted, and then people turn to crappy food, they turn to TV, and your life just becomes this more numbed out state. So, why I love my coaching is because I love to give people a different perspective. I love to teach people about the intuitive day. I made that up myself, because that's what I did after my daughter passed away. I just started doing intuitive days, and I said, Micah, move mommy, bring her what she needs, and she would bring me the most magical days ever. I would see the most beautiful butterflies or foxes, or I'd meet the most amazing couples, and have conversations with them. It would just be magic after magic after magic. And then it became a thing. And then it was like, this is something I have to do. And I didn't know I was organically doing it, and it was something that other people were teaching about. And I was like, oh my gosh, I kind of discovered that on my own 12 years ago, 13 years ago when she passed away. And now I'm doing it. And I get to communicate with her too. Your angels, it's an opportunity for your angels to use you for good, right? So when I'm doing an intuitive day, I'm saying, angels, use me for good. Bring me to who needs me. Where will you have me go? What will you have me do? It's a full on surrender. And when we're trying to co create something, and we're trying, right? The word trying is very heavy. We have to surrender. We have to take our tentacles and pull them all back, suck our energy back into us, and say, okay, I am going to work with spirit today. Show me where to go. And spirit will lead you to exactly what you need. It led me to the dishwasher, right? So when you are ready to receive, it's saying be ready to receive. Something's coming in this week, and speak your truth. Be honest. So when you speak your truth, if you're living in this reality, and here's an example, if you say, oh, I'm going to pay this person for this thing, and then you do the thing, and then the person that you're supposed to pay never really asks for the money and they kind of forget about it, but you said you would pay, and maybe that person did it because you said that you would pay, you're not being honest. That is lying. You committed to something. The universe saw you commit to paying somebody and you didn't do it. And you're like, oh, this person doesn't know. So, well, guess what? Their soul is watching you. There's God is watching you and saying, you didn't honor that person. You didn't honor their energy. You took from them. So now when you're taking, you are going to have karma. Then your life is going to kind of fall apart because you're not being honest. Speaking your truth means so much more than just speaking your truth. It's being honest with yourself. So really look at every area of your life. Oh my God, another thing that just happened. I was driving to, again, the chiropractor. I think I mentioned that earlier. Maybe I mentioned it in another video, but there was a person in front of me and I saw them literally take a water bottle and they just threw it out the window. And then they drove another 10 yards and then they threw the cap to the water bottle out the window and they just littered. And I was like, what planet are we on right now? I was like, why do people still do this? And obviously, you drive and you see trash on the ground, but it's been a while since I actually saw somebody physically just throw something out the window. And I was driving by myself and my jaw literally hit the floor for like 10 minutes. I was like, did that person really just do this? But that's just where the bubble that I live in my reality, that just doesn't happen, right? And we get to create our own realities. We get to manifest certain things. But I know spirit brings me those situations to teach on it. I got to see that in real time to be like, okay, this is something that I have to remind people that we are not doing this. We are literally dropping plastic on Mother Earth, and she supports us. She gives us life. Why would we do that to her? And I know a lot of people are still, because I used to be one of them. I used to litter. I used to throw my gum out the window when I was in high school. I just didn't care. I didn't know. I wasn't educated. I didn't know about life and God and the universe. So that's just a little side note, that don't judge. I made sure to not judge the person in that car. I just was like, I haven't seen that in years. Holy crap, holy crap. And my old Michelle would have been like, my words would have been like, what an asshole, But I knew not to do that because I am that person in that car. I used to do that same thing. So I now know not to do that. And if my ego says that thought, I say delete, delete. That's not me anymore. That's my ego. That's my pattern. That's my old way of thinking. And now I say, oh, that person, I hope they learn one day. God, please forgive that person. Please forgive that person. And that's what I say. So I think that's a message for all of you, that forgive the people that are still causing harm on our planet. They know not what they do. We are here to find forgiveness and compassion. We're not going to name call because they are us pushed out. They are an old version of you, and you would not do that to yourself when you were unaware. When I was 17 doing that, I didn't know. I wouldn't want somebody hating me for that when it was just what was taught to me. Maybe I saw somebody do it in my reality. Okay, final two messages, because actually, no, we might have a little bit more time. Okay, we have the Queen of Wands. Brilliant, talented, independent, controlling. There is nothing you can't do. Believe in yourself. Never underestimate your ability to make your dreams come true. The need for balance between career and personal life. And if you can see, she has a black cat on her lap, which represents protection from spirit. So the Queen of Wands is passionate about her work. If you are somebody that is so driven and you have this fire inside of you that you just want to put something out into the world, you're needing a little bit more balance. Maybe you're not doing enough of that, or maybe you're doing too much of that and not going out and, putting a problem on the shelf and going out and playing and enjoying life. So the queen is here. It's the queen of fire. She's the queen of that like fire, that transformation energy. It could also mean that you've been through the transformation. You've now turned into the woman or man who is being honorable, who isn't littering, who's loving other people, who's compassionate. We're soul correcting in every moment. How can you do what Jesus would do? How can you do what God would want you to do? And start living from that energy. And then we have the Six of Swords, the end of challenging times. Things are looking up, a welcome relief, finding your way to a peaceful place, the end of depression or an illness, travel or relocation. I love this. This could be somebody moving, getting a new home. See how the storm is in the background? This family has survived the storm. They're using all the swords, which is the mind space energy. They have found their way out of the ego. That's what this means. You've mastered the ego. The ego drives into the storm and creates more chaos. The soul takes you out of the storm. Okay, so when we talked about not going in the direction of where the ego and the wounding, and it wants to judge other people, and it wants to do the opposite of the intuitive day. That's when you go into a storm. But when you get out of the storm, you go off into the intuitive day, into the unknown. They might not know where they're going in this boat, and that's the unknown. They're trusting it. Okay, let's do a little ever unfolding heart. This deck and Micah Magic are both available on my website. Is this the turtle? Yes. What is under your shell? What experiences have you had that can help others who might be suffering? It's time to share your wisdom. So this is it. The Queen of Wands has been through the storm, right? She's gone through this storm. She's come out the other side. She's protected by spirit. The whole time she was protected. She was not scared. And maybe she was scared, but she dropped the fear-based energy. And now she's going to be the turtle, and she is going to share with the world her experiences. She's going to share all the magical intuitive days. She's going to share, whatever you've been through. Maybe you went through divorce a couple times. Maybe you went through the loss of a parent. Maybe you went through an illness. Maybe you went through, surviving a narcissist. Now it's time for you to share. Okay, it's time for you to get that wisdom, gather it together, put it in a podcast, put it in a book, put it out for the world to hear so that you can inspire other people to get out of the storm and to not follow that ego-driven wounding. When you are not experiencing miracles in your life, you're in your ego. Just always remember that. If miracles are not showing up and you're watching my channel and other manifestation videos, it is not about more meditating. It is not about more visualizations. You have to be a good person. If you are not speaking your truth and being honest, you're going to get backlash. It's just the laws of the universe. And yes, there are people out there who are not good people and they have a crap ton of money. But I believe that those people have been chosen to show us what not to do, right? Because they're not using their money for good. So if we didn't have that as the polarity, as the darkness, as the example, we wouldn't know what to not yearn for, right? Like we don't want to get money to then just be greedy and go own an island and do whatever we want. We want to get money to use it for good, to change our planet, to help people stop littering, to help people from, buying on Amazon all the time, all the packaging, all the waste, right? So we want to take our gifts, we want to take everything that we learned and we want to use it for good. And we want to manifest more for ourselves because that's part of the experience. Maybe if you wanted to own an island, you could do that. But obviously you wouldn't be able to fully achieve the full feeling of the fulfillment if it really wasn't a part of your journey. Like if you did that and you still felt depressed, that's probably out of alignment for you. And that's how we know. When we're in alignment, our body will feel good doing what we're doing. And sometimes people, their souls come here and that's their experience. They choose to go into that. All right, let's do Archangel Michael, Sword of Light deck. Time check. Okay. Got about 5 more minutes. Positive intention. Okay. This is kind of like the Magician card. And look how abundant she is. Look what she's holding in her arms. She's got horses in the background, which is another message that horse spirit is here to bring momentum. Positive intention. Number 14. When you're waking up each day, what are you intending to create? She's intending to create this abundance for herself. She's smiling at it. She's in gratitude. She's loving it. She's loving her surroundings. So if you're trying to create a book, a podcast, the turtle card is saying, what did you gather in this lifetime? What lessons did your soul come here to learn? Have you learned them? And now it's time to share everything that you've learned. And with the positive intention card, you are now intentionally giving those fruits to the world. You're now offering everything that you gathered to say, hey, this is what worked for me. I hope it works for somebody else. And it has to be what you love. It has to be bright and colorful and fun and vibrant, and the music. And like maybe you're going to write music. Maybe you're going to write children's books. Maybe you're going to be a health coach. Maybe you're going to guide people to better health. But you're doing it because it's something you love. Like just look at her face here. She's so in love with what she's created. She's proud of it. Oh, great message. Okay, everybody open up those eyes, ears, and hearts. If you were to manifest millions of dollars right now, more than likely, and it's not something you earned, right? It's not something your soul created or put out into the world and then you got paid for it. Your soul would still be depressed. Okay? Like what we just talked about, owning an island, you would not feel fulfilled. The deep soul fulfillment that you're looking for, that you think lies in money and freedom, it actually lies in what you're creating. The book, the podcast, the storytelling, whatever it is, that's really what's going to bring you the most joy. When I created my mindfulness program and then I realized that like all these schools were buying it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like I created that. Like I didn't know it was going to be big and I didn't even know how to film. I didn't know how to do anything, but I created something that the world needs, that kids need. So kids are watching my videos. I'm teaching them how to meditate and I'm teaching them like how I teach right here in my readings, that mindfulness program. There's 30 videos and for about 10 to 12 minutes in each video, I'm teaching like this. I'm teaching them about the laws of the universe. I'm teaching them about anxiety. I'm teaching them to get out in nature. So I created something that the world and kids needed. And that gave me deep fulfillment. It made me feel so good on the inside. And then to be paid for it and to be paid abundantly for it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. That's me. That's that energy. So if you are not feeling the smile that she's feeling with the work that you're giving to the world, That's what this reading is calling you to do. It's saying, what is that thing inside of you that you're really good at that the world needs? And that's going to bring you the most abundance. Okay, let's do a final message. What could we use as our final message? Okay, we're going to do 2 spirit animal cards. Kim Kranz, the Wild Unknown. The Gazelle. Pause and watch a sunset. This is slow down. You've been moving too fast. Time to rest, slow down, soak in your surroundings, enjoy everything that you've created. It's an abundant time. You're the Queen of Wands. Yeah, you've worked so hard to get whatever you did out into the world, or you're about to. The Beaver is all about working. You'll work hours and days and weeks to get a job done. The Beaver does not stop until the job is done. So this is like a polarity energy, right? This is the Gazelle is fast moving and it's saying slow down. The Beaver is hardworking. So there's a balance here. We need to know when to step on the gas and we need to know when to step on the brake. We don't want to be stepping on the gas and the brake at the same time. Okay. So I also just heard if you're wanting to create something, a lot of times if you have 6 different tabs open in your energetic creations, like on your computer, but we can see it as energy. If you have an idea to write a book, if you have an idea to do this and do that, like you can't have all those tabs open. You need to dial in on one thing and go full speed with it. Okay. Be like the Beaver and work till it's done. Then open up the next tab and go there. Okay. Because a lot of us, especially if you're a manifesting generator in the human design, if you're a generator like me, like we just follow our joy. We're like, all right, today I want to, write towards my book. Tomorrow I want to create videos. Tomorrow I want to, or the next day I want to go hang out with my family. Like we have a ton of tabs open, but we're more organized with I'm doing what feels good in the moment. But when it comes to getting something done and creating abundance for yourself, we have to kind of dial in and do it. So I hope these messages find you well. I'm sending you so much love. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. If you need a session, everything is in the link in the comments. I still am doing one-on-ones. I actually want to start doing more readings. So if you guys want a reading, I'm going to put them up for $175 on my community page. I want to start doing readings more. I want to help people who are really wanting to transform their life and they want a little magic with the cards. Let's see what your path holds for you. Let's see what messages we get. All right, lovies, I will leave that on my community page. So go there if you want to book a reading. Go to my website if you want to book a coaching session. If you want to join my mentorship, I mentor women for 8 weeks and we do readings and we do all of this. We help you get on your mission, feeling fulfilled in life. All right, lovies, I will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful week and keep me posted if anything magical happens. All right, peace out.